I'm Jared Taylor, and we're here with Barbara Burgo and Candida Rose to tell us more about public reading that you're doing for Cape Verdean Independence Day.
Yes, thank you. We are here to talk about the Mass Humanities sponsored reading of Frederick Douglass. His speech was titled, "What to the Slave is the 4th of July?" And he read that speech over 100 years ago on the 5th of July, because he had said to himself as he was writing for this oration that many Americans celebrate the 4th of July, but what to the Negro is the 4th of July? So he read it on the 5th of July, actually, and many, many organizations across the state for years have been reading as a public read through Mass Humanities that speech, which is incredible. It just so happened that he read it on the 5th of July, and the 5th of July is Cape Verdean Independence Day. Cape Verde has only been, had independence since July 5th, 1975. And so we would like the generation beyond us and the populations in the area that don't know much about the Cape Verdean history and culture to be able to learn some of this that we're trying to impart.
Yes. Well, would you mind telling me what you got in your hands right there?
Oh my goodness, thank you for asking. So I have a friend, Pam Chatterton Purdy, who does icons. Many people have heard about her icons in gold. This is not Frederick Douglass, but this is Harriet Tubman. The reason I have this, the New Bedford folks who have been doing these Frederick Douglass readings for more than 10 years that I know of, have actually been lucky enough to have had ancestors who walked the same streets as Frederick Douglass walked when he left slavery down south and moved. I hear one of our scholars in this program is Dr. Richard Loban, and he said Frederick Douglass did come up to Newport because he remembers seeing the house he lived in. And this is the floorboard, a piece of the floorboard in New Bedford where Frederick Douglass lived. My friend Candida Rose is former native of New Bedford, lived in New Bedford.
I actually I moved back to New Bedford. I actually live in New Bedford. I'm born and raised in New Bedford. I'm very, very proud of the fact that, Frederick Douglass walked the streets of New Bedford, and I'm very proud of the fact that Cape Verdean history and culture, and the cultures of people like Frederick Douglass and who walked our streets. I mean, we celebrate that so much in New Bedford. So I'm kind of proud to be a New Bedfordite, and then coming here to Falmouth and helping Barbara to bring that same kind of culture and celebration of culture here to the Cape.
Candida. The Mass Humanities, we wrote a grant. This was inspired by a conversation that we had last September at the Falmouth Cape Verdean Club with Representative David Vieira. And we're trying to establish a Cape Verdean Cultural Center in brick and mortar. There's a virtual, just a Facebook page up there. I started one in another town, and the rents are high around here. We need more public traffic and public interest. So Rep Vieira had mentioned to me that he was looking to establish a committee to help get some of the Cape Verdean experience and culture knowledge out into Massachusetts. And he can tell you more about the initiative that he's working on. So we started a satellite museum idea, and we're hoping to get enough interest and help in order to bring a physical museum rather than virtual museum on Cape Cod. There's a Zion Museum, African American and Cape Verdean Studies, which is very, very good. But it's small and it's in Hyannis. And I'm finding people from Falmouth don't like to go all the way up to Hyannis and vice versa. So we'd like one here on this side of the Cape.
Oh yes, that's Falmouth is a great area to start it in.
It is. And they have been very warm and welcoming with this Frederick Douglass Read. So we also collaborated with the Falmouth Historical Society. The executive director, Mark Schmidt, has been working with us, and so this event happened to be also, you know how they just say something, just the stars align? The July 5th is also the Museums on the Green free Fun Fridays.
Oh.
First Friday of the month in July. So Frederick Douglass read this on July 5th. Cape Verdeans got independence on July 5th. And Free Fun Fridays is on July 5th. What more could we ask for here in
There's your
Falmouth?
triangle right there. There you go.
Candida, why don't you tell us more about your involvement with bringing the culture back to Cape Cod?
I would love to. Well, again, my friend, you know, she calls me. I come because she's been so, she's just been so instrumental in wanting to get me to come and do more things here, because I do a lot already. I do a lot in the New Bedford area. Most of the festivals, Cape Verdean festivals, I'm either singing the anthems, or usually I'm singing the Cape Verdean national anthems and the American anthem, especially like in New Bedford on around July 5th when we have the parades. And when we have our Cape Verdean Recognition Week, I'm usually singing the opening ceremonies with the U.S. national anthem and the Cape Verdean national anthem. But I also, for different events around, you know, whether it's Black History Month, whether it's Frederick Douglass, I also sing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. So for this particular event, I'm actually going to be singing all three anthems. So I'll be singing the American National Anthem, I'll be singing the Cape Verdean National Anthem, and I'll also be singing Lift Every Voice, which is the Black National Anthem. And I just love promoting culture. I love cultural education. I sing Cape Verdean music, but I also sing in different languages. I have lots of different groups that I perform with. So I'm always trying to put culture in there somehow, because it's important. I think it's important for us to know more about who we are, where we come from, but it's also very important for us to teach our children about where their roots are, so that they're more informed as well.
Yes, I agree with you on that very much, because I wish I knew a lot more about my culture, well, our culture, and it's very eye-opening to see you guys like coming out here and doing this.
So this is what we're doing. We're trying to connect the Douglass Read, which is one paragraph at a time. We've got 23 or 24 people signed up to read. Mark Schmidt from the museum will read a paragraph, and then we'll go on to Rep. David Vieira reading another paragraph. I will read one. If you would like to come and join us, we could have you read a paragraph. And some of the conversation about it would be not only, I wonder what Frederick Douglass would think about the world today if he was still here. I wonder what anyone here in Falmouth who comes to read who might be another culture. It's not just about Cape Verdeans, obviously, because we also make up a lot of cultures within us. So we've got someone who's Brazilian, and she's going to read, I hope, in Brazilian Portuguese. We've got the Mass Humanities has the speech in 3 different languages, and so French and Spanish and Portuguese, and I'm going to hope we do some in Creole, and write a little paragraph, and we'll all just have conversations about what it's like in our world today and how Frederick Douglass would be proud or not?
Hey, that's a fine question right there. Only he could answer right now, but
But we'll try, won't we?
yes, we will.
So July 5th, 1 o'clock to 2:30, will be at the Cultural Center, the Museums on the Green in Falmouth, at downtown Falmouth. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to go over to the Cape Verdean Club from 3 to 6 or 7, whatever we want to continue the celebration of our Independence Day. And we're actually going to have a taste and tour of Cape Verde. We're going to represent each island. Wayne Lobo is going to take on Fogo, and you may see an active volcano there. And so you'll get to learn more, you and whoever will get to learn more about Cape Verde, along with more about Frederick Douglass and the reason he wrote what to the Negro is the 4th of July. I thank you.
Oh, I thank you guys for showing up.
Thank you for having us.